Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer, the channel that brings you silver videos every single day of the week. Make sure you subscribe because you'll never miss a beat. We have some huge things going on in the world of precious metals, more specifically silver. And before we even dive into these articles that are very interesting and educational, I want to show you the chart. Check this out. This is the 1 week chart for silver. Things just took off out of nowhere. We will be explaining why this happened and if it's going to keep going higher, because a lot of people are saying it will. Are these going to be the last days we see $24 silver, $25 silver? I mean, heading into next year, things are going to get even crazier and people are even more bullish. I've never seen so many people this bullish on silver, and even the analytics, the data beyond just geopolitical tensions and all that, everything is pointing towards higher silver prices, and everyone is saying it, from banks to people that don't even focus on silver specifically. I've covered so many articles from sources that just talk about anything investing, and they're focused on silver right now. So let's go into these articles. Like I said earlier, make sure you subscribe because I will always give you guys the latest information. So silver nears breakout level as markets eye $24 resistance, and Thursday witnessed silver prices inching up to close at $23 in a session marked by low trading volumes but maintaining weekly highs. Market participants are closely monitoring the precious metal as it approaches key resistance levels, with the immediate focus on the $24 mark and a further eye on June's peak of $24.52. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of resistance around that. Right now it's at $24.34. Is it going to keep going above this? I mean, it's looking so. There should be some type of pullback or correction, or you never want something to just go straight up. It has to build some stability. But things are looking very bullish right now. And as trading resumed in Japan and US markets on Friday, silver prices showed little change, hovering close to a potential breakout over the $24 threshold. Should this level be breached, the next targets for silver bulls are set at June's high, followed by a significant psychological barrier at $25, ultimately aiming for the year-to-date high of $26.12. What do they mean by the psychological barrier? It's just like at the store. They're going to price something $19.99 and not $20, just because even there's a 1 penny difference. Just seeing something at 19 instead of 20 makes a big difference psychologically, and it looks cheaper. Well, 25 looks high, and if it breaks above that, people are going to say, whoa, silver's doing something. So anyways, the downside risk remains if silver prices were to fall below Thursday's low, which would see the metal testing critical support within its demand zone at the 200-day moving average at $23.32. A further decline could expose additional supports at the 20-day or the 20 DMA, which is $23.13. Investors are advised to remain vigilant in the emotional distress risks associated with such volatile trading environments. Yes, silver is a roller coaster ride. It's very volatile. It is definitely not for the weak-handed because it is such a small market. Let's say compared to gold, it hits higher highs and lower lows. It's much more exaggerated and dramatic. If gold's going to rise 10%, silver's going to rise 15%, and the opposite, which makes it more dangerous. So you got to be careful. There's more risk, more reward, but a lot of people, they especially those that are getting into silver for the wrong reasons, as a get-rich-quick scheme, thinking they're just going to make a whole bunch of money, even though it's not even, the point isn't even to make money. It is the money itself, but you could see how it could be so dangerous. But I do like the fact they use vigilant, and you cannot invest off of emotional distress. You cannot invest off emotions, period. I always say invest with your head, not your heart, because impulse buying and panic selling is very real, and that is what takes most investors out. So as Market watchers stay tuned for silver's next move. Precious metals performance in the upcoming sessions could be pivotal for its short-term price trajectory. So let's look at this second article, and this is from FX Empire. It's talking about how silver continues to consolidate. Silver's done very little during the trading session on Thursday as the market is dealing with the lack of liquidity that Thanksgiving brings. So here's the technical analysis. Silver's been rather quiet during the trading session on Thursday as traders will have to deal with the lack of liquidity due to the Thanksgiving holiday. And of course, people aren't paying attention. And this even goes heading into the new year, right? Friends and family, Christmas, traveling. People aren't really paying attention. Some people probably selling some silver to buy Christmas presents. A lot of people are very down and very depressed. So that could also affect, right? We're making decisions, and the psyche of someone's mind and where they're at is going to affect the decisions they make in return. If they're an investor, could directly affect what they're doing with their money or how they're investing, which also plays a huge role. And I don't think a lot of people look into that as much as they should, right? Every single investor is making a decision, and that is coming directly from their opinion and their insight of what they are deciding to do. And if they are very finicky, very anxious, very worried, fear, uncertainty, doubt, compared to someone who's cool, calm, and collect, you could see how markets could sway, especially, like I always say, speculation. I hate that S word. So at this point, the market continues to see a lot of choppiness, which does make a certain amount of sense considering that we had shot straight up in the air rather drastically, like I was saying, right? That's expected. And now the 50-day EMA looks as if it's trying to cross above the 200-day EMA, kicking off this so-called golden cross. If we can break above the shooting star from Wednesday, it opens up the possibility of the $25 level, perhaps the $25.50 level. Like we said, that's a psychological level, and it would probably shoot up even higher towards 26. If this happened, then it would pull back a little bit. But, overbought territory, that's why you got to be careful. But regardless, if you're someone who's buying for the long term, it doesn't matter whether you buy it at $24 or $25, because silver is much more valuable than both of those. But to wrap this article up, he says, I suspect that one thing the markets will be paying close attention to next will be the jobs number, which is due next Friday. This could give traders an idea as to what the Federal Reserve may have to do in its next meeting, although most people believe that the Federal Reserve is done tightening monetary policy. Whether or not that's true remains to be seen, but there's also the perception as to whether or not they will keep that money policy type. Regardless, you should also recognize the fact that we are looking at the possibility that traders will be focusing on industrial demand, as silver is highly levered to the green energy manufacturing sector as well. I'm glad they brought up, that whole other side, and he uses the word regardless, right? Regardless of what all this does, there's a whole other side to silver that makes it extremely bullish and highly opportunistic. So all things being equal, I think a short-term pullback is more likely than not. But there should be plenty of support underneath the other moving averages. And, of course, the bottom potential bullish flag we had seen or that we had been building for a while. On the other hand, if we turn around to take out the highs of the trading session on Wednesday, the buyers will certainly take control. So I think that was some really good insight. I'm glad that he came from both perspectives, and this article I'm not even really going to cover because it breaks down very deeply the analytical data, but I just wanted to show you guys that the data, the chart analysis shows silver's preparing for a breakout higher. I'm not going to go into the internal subdivision as a double through. No. If you're a chart expert, good for you. Go break this down and explain it in the comment section. I just want to show that even these experts are mentioning that silver is going higher. So I definitely think right now is a pivotal point, like they mentioned. I hope a lot of people are paying attention to the markets, because this might be the last time we're able to buy silver at $24, $25. There is so many different things happening at the same exact time. The stars are aligning, right? The stars are aligning. The perfect storm is here. I could name 15 to 20 different reasons that put silver in such an incredible spot to rally. And I could tell you 15, 20 reasons why I could put stocks in a very incredible spot that won't rally. This is not a debate, and it's because silver is money itself, even if we're not talking about profit taking or capitalizing or trying to take money off the top or get rich, whether it's quick or in the long term. Silver is the money itself. So you're not throwing your money away in the trash. The only way you're doing that is by not investing into silver, because silver is the money itself. So anyone who's looking at silver saying, oh, $25 is too pricey, I'm going to pass, you're looking at it the wrong way. It's not silver rising in price. It's the dollar lowering in purchasing power. It takes more and more and more dollars to equal an ounce. It's not the price of silver going higher. See what I'm saying? That's why, like in Zimbabwe, you have the $1 trillion bill, and you see people holding signs that says "broke billionaire." They put their money in trash bags because their money is so worthless. They have to carry thousands of these bills. It's why you see them weighing their money on scales at the cash register, because their money is so worthless. Like, imagine that. That is what's happening. I mean, in third world countries, but it's all the same exact setup and design. And we've already lost 98% of its purchasing power. The USD is getting denominated as the world's reserve currency, which is extremely dangerous and worrying for anyone who lives in the States, But at the end of the day, as long as you're investing in the precious metals physically, you have a safety net. That's the alternative. I wouldn't say there is any solution. We could talk about a reset, a financial reset, but or this CBDC and all that, but I'm not going to dive into that. That's a whole separate video. But you could see why precious metals is so important to invest into. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you want daily silver stacking news. You'll never miss a beat over here. Lots happening, so you got to make sure you're tuning in. And also, if you wanted to purchase some silver, send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you. They will hook you up. We have Black Friday deals right now, weekly silver, gold, and platinum deals every single Monday. Just ask them what the price sheet is, ask them what the deals are. They will hook you up. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.